Oh, a little Lionel Richie to get your day started. I appreciate that, Harry. Easy, easy like Sunday morning. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Oh, welcome to Love Babz Love Talk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. Thanks for tuning in. Enru will be on at 10:15. We gotta get that. We gotta get our Yoruba ancestor love on. So we're gonna do that. He's a Yoruba priest, and it's always I listen. I tell you all the time when he comes on, it's really about me. I have him on because he gets me right spiritually. Y'all could just listen in. That's how we do it around here. Yes, Harry, I'm gonna order a new light because my light this light is dead. I don't even know how to fix it. So I'm gonna do it. Thank you for the feedback, Paul. I'm gonna make my order. They're not expensive. They're just, a couple of dollars. But I hadn't had a chance to do it because I hadn't been stay sitting still to take care of it. So I will do it in the next day or so. Probably sometime today I'll do it and get it done. Get her done. Day whatever this is of not watching the news. I haven't watched the news again. I made a pact that I wasn't gonna watch the news for a minute. And I'm still not watching the news. So there you go. Uh I think tonight I'm gonna go to Pay What You Can Collective Consciousness Theater because I want to see the niceties. So I want to go support that. It's playing at Bergamo's. And so I think I could square up a little bit of money to go see it. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going. Tonight is my night, I think. I think tonight is my night. That's what I'm going to do. So, yep, I got my tea, got my matcha tea, and I'm drinking matcha tea because that's the tea I got in the cabinet. I gotta up my tea game too. Yeah, a lot of games I gotta up. But a little tea game is not matcha is nice. I don't, matcha's got all the healing properties and all the stuff that it does and whatever. So it's a unsmoked yerba mate with tulsi. So I like it. So it's good. So I'm doing it. Let me see what's going on. I think the latest edition of the Inner City is out. I'm trying to go look for it right now and see what's happening in the world. And then I'll go by the New Haven Independent in a minute. Right now I wanna see if I could catch a little bit of the inner city news, see what's on the cover. That would be really good. Uh, okay. Oh no, that he hasn't put up the new cover yet. So I don't think this is the right one. No, it's not. It's not. The new one hasn't gone up yet. So it'll go. This still has the election stuff in it. All right. So probably by this afternoon, the digital one will be up. The actual paper is being delivered as we speak. So I'll leave that to I'll look at the digital one tomorrow. But you could go to our website, theinnercitynews.com, and you can get a sense of what's going to be in the paper. The website always has the link to the digital paper, but the new digital paper is not up. But everything else is up, like all the news. So you can get some stuff. You can get some stuff. You can get some stuff that's out there. And I curate content for this too. So it'll be really good. So I'm hoping that people get it and look at it and see it. So a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm feeling pretty good. Uh, Yeah, so today's the 14th, November. I tell you, time is flying by. It is flying by. And it's the holidays. I was in the dollar store yesterday and I bought some dollar ornaments for the little library outside. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I went over, I had dinner with my bestie last night, so I didn't get a chance to get outside to mess around. But I think it's warm. I think it's not as windy, so I could be out there messing around with it. So I'll do that because it brings me joy. And so that'll be what I do. The only thing I got in front of me today is uh I've got the what do I have in front of me? Uh who I have in front of me is the cardiologist. I told you my fat shaming cardiologist. And I know ordinarily I should be mad about it, but I'm not. So don't worry about it. And he'll be pleased because I lost some more weight. So as long as I'm losing weight, he's not mean to me. I know it's a terrible relationship. And before anybody writes me talking about get another doctor, they're all like that. They are all like that. Whether they are overtly fat shamers or down low fat shamers, it's all fat shaming. And listen, I know who I am. I know what I am. I know who I am. I don't even sweat it. Listen, I know people are fat shamers all the time. People will say stuff all the time. All the time. So I'm not worried about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about it. So all is well. All shall be well. It'll be well. So anyway, I go see him today too. I think I might stop by the bookstore because I haven't been by the bookstore in a week, and I might be able to get me a cup of coffee. It'd be a good day to get a cup of coffee. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, baby. We'll see how it goes. But I'm thinking the day looks pretty good. I think the weather, ooh, it's brisk out, sunny. It's 36 degrees. You know, we, we are deadly spoiled in the Northeast right now. We are just taken aback by cold weather. So the high today is 50. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was cold yesterday. Last night I was over at Efe's, going there. I had on I had on my workout clothes and a poncho. I was like, well, because I've been, it's been days, it's been 60 degrees, so you didn't need a coat. I was cold last night though, I must say. I was like, ooh, this is cold weather here. So I just left it alone. Uh, so I think I have to put on a little bit more today, because it's chilly. It's very, very chilly. So anyway, that's what it is. It's cold. It's very, very cold. So it's cold. We'll survive. So we shall survive. All shall be well. Uh, all shall be well. Um rain check, please. I'm just trying to, there's a lot of noise outside. That's why I'm quiet because there's some noise outside and it's annoying to me. It sounds like something is moving. So I don't know what that is. It's loud. So anyway, I I at some point I know I'm gonna have to talk politics because the cast of fools that are being put forward as part of the new administration's cabinet is just stunning. I mean, even Republicans are stunned. Listen, I'm gonna say this one time. Voting has consequences. Thank you, Dory Dumas, for my shirt. Ife gave it to me last night. Vote. Our lives depend on it. NAACP. So I got my shirt. And I'm not going to DC next week to hang out with my sister. I was gonna. I can't afford it. So I'm gonna not do it. I just can't afford it. So, it's pricey to get to DC and back on the train, on the plane. I'm waiting for telepathy or, teleporting. That's probably going to be outrageous when that comes to being, you know. So, but I would like it. I could just stand in a portal and just be teleported somewhere. Do you know how much that would cut down on travel time and cut down on lost luggage? That's what I'm thinking about, you know. I know it's a very sci-fi thing, but I'm thinking about that in real ways. So don't be mad at me. I know. Harry, we hadn't had a good conspiracy theorist in a long time. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked at any good conspiracy theories. I mean, beside the usual ones that Tupac and Michael Jackson are together. And I think somebody else. Elvis, the Elvis one. All the Elvis side. Of course you see Elvis. Do you know how many Elvis impersonators there are in the world? So many. Of course you're gonna see Elvis. I mean, if you go to Vegas, there's one on every 2 feet. High five to the people listening to us in Uruguay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Uh yeah, I appreciate you. Let me see what else is going on. There's some music going on somewhere. I don't know who is outside doing that, doing all that loud noise. Sounds like a truck. They must be cutting trees. Wait, wait, wait. Is this true? The Onion, the satirical publication, said it won a bankruptcy auction to buy InfoWars, a website run by the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. When I mean conspiracy theories, I don't mean that kind of foolishness. He's just hurtful. I like conspiracy theories that are just ridiculous. I don't like those ones that lie about the truth. I don't like that. No, those Sandy Hook parents. I know I know they each wish they could just slap the crap out of him every time he was out there talking about those kids are not dead, they actors. And I was like, man, what kind of hell is going to be ready for you? Because I think everybody's hell is going to be individualized. You know, I don't think there's no universal hell. I don't think that unless except whatever we create on earth. But your personal hell, Your personal hell. I hope his personal hell is just a continuation of slaps through eternity to his face is raw. You know what I mean? That's all. Mean, I know. I know. But mean people call for mean outcomes, you know. Yeah, y'all can pray for him all you want, whatever. I'm not doing that. So, a Godzilla humidifier for the plants. I guess you could use it for something else. Oh, I love it. I don't know if I can have that in my house though. I love Godzilla, but Godzilla scares me too. Just FYI. As much as I love Godzilla, I'm also afraid of Godzilla. There's an exhibit in New York called the Wild Couch Party sculpture. It's all these animals sitting on a couch. A wild couch party. Get it? Get it? And it sits where is it? It's at the 28 Liberty Street, Fossum Plaza. It's a 5-minute walk from the World Trade Center. It'll be there for a year. That's kind of I would that would be kind of fun to see. I like to play on words. That would be fun. I would drop it in the chat for my friend Sarah, because I think she's in New York. She could just run over there. I think it's cute. How fun. That'd be fun to see this summer. I don't want to go see it now. It's too cold. But you got the kids. Look at the kids. They're loving it. You can sit out there and sit with, they all have like teacups. Nobody has a martini glass. I know animals don't drink martinis, but they don't drink coffee either. So why is a coffee mug better than a martini glass or a highball? I mean, if you're gonna have a party, when I think of party, that's what I think of. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it right alone. So anyway, that's in New York, which is fun. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun. So, um, yeah, I guess we need a I guess the cold weather will calm things down. I don't think them Kia boys are going to be trying to mess around in the snow, well, in cold weather. First of all, they won't be able to get them cars started. So maybe we need some cold weather to calm people's minds. We'll see. And I know they're duking it out in Beaver Hill for the late Alder seat. Gary Hogan and Claudette are Thorpe Robinson are vying for that seat. Oh, it feels like 1,000 years ago I was the older. I still remember it. You know, it's a fond memory. It wasn't fond to resign, but it was fond memories. You know, and I see people like I saw people who I served with, and one in particular who was, who did not like me and it was had some harsh words for me. And I guess it's all water under the bridge now because when he saw me, he was happy to see me. was like, I was like, am I in the Twilight Zone? You know. So anyway, tonight is Pay What You Can every Thursday, Collective Consciousness Theater. Tonight is Pay What You Can. So I'm gonna go tonight. I'm gonna text somebody and be like, can I come and bring some cash? Or do I gotta buy my ticket up front? which is fine. I could do that. I absolutely could do it. Uh, oh, I mean, tickets are not that expensive. They start at like $15. So I might get me a ticket. I could just buy my ticket now. Today is what, the 14th? The show's from 8 to 10. Okay, I'm gonna come back to it. I'll do it later. I'm gonna do it while I'm on here because I don't have my handbag in front of me and I need my wallet. And when you need your wallet, I gotta get James Foreman on the show to talk about his book, Dismantling Mass Incarceration: A Handbook for Change. I told you I did the podcast with him Monday for the SNCC Legacy Project, which was really cool. Like I'm connected to SNCC by virtue of Professor Foreman, which is like a low-key dream come true. Do you know what I mean? Like to be connected to that era of civil rights. You know, I am in awe of that. That's just cool. The first time I did voter registration in college, I did it with Andrew Young and Jesse Jackson. They were running around HBCUs, getting the student government associations to gather so that we could do voter registration in the South. And so I had the good fortune of going to Appalachia, Kentucky, Appalachia, West Virginia, that kind of stuff. It was like a week-long thing. I never seen poor white people like that in my whole life. I I was like, I didn't know what to make of it. I was like, damn. Whew. I mean, I knew black poverty, but white poverty like that? I was like, what in the God's name? It was why it took my breath away. And so when I think about these people who don't uh uh vote in their best interest, I'm thinking to myself, do y'all see yourselves? Do you see how your conditions? And the thing that freaked me out a lot was, I'm gonna come back to the Foreman book in a minute. What freaked me out a lot was that, coal miners couldn't get health insurance. Nobody would insure them because of that whole black lung thing. So it wasn't until the Affordable Care Act that folks who worked in the coal mines could get health insurance for their children and for their family and for themselves. And the fact that some of these states didn't want to expand that, right? And I'm thinking to myself, these people work in these mines for 30 years, they get black lung, they can't they can't do anything, they're disabled, and they have to pay out of their pocket for health insurance, for health care. And so you know what that means. That simply means that people couldn't afford health care, they're not going to get it. And if they can't afford it for themselves, they can't afford it for their children. I it's a weird thing to sort of be in this country and rah, rah, rah flags in America. And yet the least among us are not cared for. And I'm talking to white people right now. White people. I don't know how does your conscience, well, you know what? I'm not gonna link white people and conscience together because I don't think that's the way to go in what I want to say. Because if they had conscience, they wouldn't have been enslaving people. So, with that said, I don't know how people want to live knowing that there are people, the least of us. And people like to bandy about the Bible and the verses of the Bible all the time, but they pick and choose the verses that that they want to use, that they want to weaponize, but never use the verses that are the roadmap on how to live and be in community to each other, to fellow humans. They never want to use those verses, as if somehow or other those verses don't matter, like they're lightweight. They rather use the verses of condemnation that they could, tear people down with. But the Bible, if you like the Bible, and I know you literal clowns out there who like the Bible, you know, I love to quote all the eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth stuff, never quote love thy neighbor as thyself. You just skip over those parts, which is 99% of the Bible on how to be good humans and good stewards to each other. But you skip over that for the fire and the brimstone stuff, which is just it's a level of hypocrisy that is stunning. I don't know. I don't know good people. I don't know. It's amazing to me. So anyway, I just feel like oh, when you go to those states, when you go to Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, northern Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, uh, the Appalachian states, it's quite stunning, that level of poverty, that rural poverty. And it's wild. It's so wild. And we should be ashamed, but we're not. And so you have that abject poverty coupled with no health care, coupled with taking women's reproductive rights away. It's just a prescription. And then I saw something it was on my social media sites, and it was talking about how sexually transmitted diseases are low everywhere else except in Georgia. I guess they don't call it the dirty South for nothing. And I don't, I think that has to be about not having access to reproductive care. I don't know why you would want people to not have access to reproductive care. You know, Sexually transmitted diseases can be cured if handled. And so I guess I'm to understand that you don't even want to handle that. It's wild to me. I I I don't get it. I don't know. America is looking like it's not the light on the hill, more like the devil in the broom closet, you know. It's weird. So anyway, back to dismantling mass incarceration. So there's lots of essays and positions and thought thinking in this. And I've been wholly interested in um the pieces on they have a whole chapter. So it's broken up into sections. Uh, like part one is the police. And there's a whole bunch of pieces on the notion of police, the idea of police, what we need to do with police, what could be done with police, where we are with police. Uh, and that's an interesting read. And they're heavy hitting people writing this stuff. Then the second part goes into prosecutors. And people have been whispering to me about, prosecutors carry a lot of weight, you know. Uh, and to hear Professor reform and talk about it. Um, Mass incarceration happens at the local level. It's not at the federal level. I mean, the federal level has some hand in this, but we locking up people at the local level. Just FYI. So there's a whole piece on prosecutors, reimagining prosecution, all of that, new policies beyond reform, that kind of stuff. And then there's part three, public defenders. There are people who are making the case for a new public defender for the 21st century. There's uh, if you want to reduce mass incarceration, fund public defenders. I mean, there's a whole lot. The end of public defenders, why public defenders matter more than ever in a time of reform. 10 things public defenders can do to stand up for racial justice. So there's a whole section on that. Then you get to part four, judges. The whole bunch of essays on judges. This is such a comprehensive book. I like that it's a handbook for change because you could just pick something to read. And I was with the students from high school in the community at Possible Futures bookstore, and we read I think parts of the parts that we read I think was on police. And then they talk about judges, they talk about prisons, part five, and then part six is the aftermath. So I've been messing around reading little pieces of it, little snatches of it, and marking dog-earing pages, you know. Uh and there's a piece that I highlighted which show um prison populations ballooned over the 1990s and 2000s largely because of prosecutorial decisions. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, so yeah, so I'm gonna have him on so he could talk a little bit about this more. I just got to get on my game a little bit. I dog-eared a conversation about second chance employment. I need to look at that a little bit more. I think I wanted to read it. Then there's a piece on housing and so that's at the end of the book, but it's a very comprehensive read. I've had a bunch of these books. I've been giving them out, and they've all been in the little library. People have been taking them. So I hope people are reading them earnestly, you know. And I had a good conversation yesterday in the barbershop. Felt like the barbershop at the gym. Yesterday I go to the gym every day. Uh and but I was in there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm lifting heavy weights, you know. So I was in there and I was having a conversation with one of the trainers, Kendrick and Bracy, and we was talking about what we can do in the Black community, you know. And I think, I think honestly, there are a lot of people who don't see the what's happening in the community because they're not really in community. But they're not in spaces where things are happening. They're in adjacent spaces or they're in spaces where they just don't see it. And I think you have to lean in to where things are going on, you know. Because it's not enough to sort of say this is what we need and go on and on and on and wax poetic about this is why we can't get along, this is why we can't move forward. I don't even have those conversations anymore with people. I just go right to the chase. Okay, well, what do you think we need to happen, and what is your commitment to seeing it through? See, that has to be the conversation. We can no longer afford to lament. Now we have to identify um uh uh inventory and then execute something, Even if it's something small like after school programming to teach Black history. I mean, you have to figure that out, you know. We have to figure that out. Um, there's a project that I want to work on that I need to get up with Jameson. Be like, Jameson, let's figure out how to find some money to do this, because this is critical to me. Um, and I need to get this done before I die. So that's how I'm rolling now. I'm like, I gotta do this before I die, damn it. 'Cause, I done see three people in the less than a month drop dead. I'm like, uh and I'm close to these people. I'm like, shoot. I mean, not all of them, but I have some awareness of them. I'm like, let me get my life together. If I could do what I need to do. Um, but I don't want to have these, and I know people need to vent. I get it. God knows. I know. I just don't want to be at that level. Like that's not where my strengths lie. I want to get at the how do we do this and who needs to be at the table to implement this. I got an idea. There's something I really want to work on, on top of the 50 million other things that I'm working on, and none of this benefits me. I know. I need to figure out things that benefit me, but I don't seem to be able to do that. I don't seem to be selfish. And I don't say that because I'm bragging. I'm saying that because I had a conversation last night with my sister and she was like X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, I never even thought about that. She's like, I know you never think about that. I was like, oh, no, I didn't even think about that. She's like X, Y, and Z. I was like, oh, I guess. Listen, I'm not trying to be pious or modest or any of that foolishness. It just didn't occur to me. I was just thinking about the need of some other thing, for something else. I was like, oh, you know, I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I feel like there's so many little hurdles in my way sometimes that really get on my nerves. And my sister told me a long time ago, she was like, Babs, these things are distractions that are designed to pull you away from the goal. And I remember she used to say that. I used to be so annoyed by that. I think, what are you talking about? And as I have gotten older, I see it. I see how things can distract you. And they are legitimate things that pull you away from your plan and your goals. You have to go deal with somebody, a friend, or this or that, a boyfriend, some old mess, family, whatever. You have to deal with it. But honestly, if it pulls you away from what your goal is, it's a distraction. And we have to be able to sort of manage those distractions. There's a lot of things that you just can't do for people. I mean, you can wallow and lament with people when they have a problem, but you can't really solve their problems. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't solve anybody's problem. I could be with them as they are figuring out how to deal with their problem. But the solving of the problem is theirs and theirs alone. And so investing so much time when they themselves are not investing that time is foolish. And it's an easy rabbit hole to go down because we care deeply about people. We want the best for the people who are in our universe. And so if we just show them a way, then they will be inspired to follow that way and work on. But oftentimes that's not the case. You go down that rabbit hole by your damn self. And your person who you're trying to support, help, care for, they still standing up at the top, looking down like, I don't want to do that. And you're just like, what? You know, I think everybody needs rescuing, to some degree. And some people you have to leave to their own devices until they ask for your help. And I think people misunderstand about the asking for help. Particularly if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, or you find yourself in the same predicament. That means you haven't asked for help enough. You just think you can fix it on your own. And you can't. Some things require, and it's not just the big things. It's sometimes it's the small things that require you to ask for help so that you could get the lesson you need so you can move on to the next thing, you know. And you have to make difficult decisions. I get it. It's a very difficult decision to decide to give up my house, but I knew it was the right thing at that particular moment because I couldn't keep paying money into something that I could no longer afford to upkeep. And I was starting to see the wear and tear of the house that I knew I could not afford to upkeep. I knew it, you know, and I knew I wasn't gonna go and get a high paying job. I could have. I just didn't. I didn't have the energy to do that. I still don't have the energy to do that. To run an organization again, to sit and I don't want to do. I don't think that's where my strengths lie. I don't. I don't think that's where my strengths lie. You know. And I'm fine with that. I've done it. I've worked in a lot of places, done a lot of things. I'm okay, but I say that to say that I'm still learning lessons of things. I'm in something now that I have to make decisions about, and I've been lamenting it for a lot of different reasons. A lot of it is 99% personal because it's going to change the trajectory and the nature of relationships. And I know it. And so I think I'm trying to mourn it before I make the decision that needs to be made, whatever the decisions are. Uh, I'm at this place too where it hurts. Like it hurts that somebody would feel like they could treat me this way at this late stage in lives, and a part of me just does not understand. I mean, I intellectually I understand what is happening, and spiritually I understand what's happening, but emotionally it hurts, and it's a and I know what's gonna. I have a sense there's gonna be no coming back from this, kind of experience. I know how I am when I let go of people. I freaking let go. And I trust, you know. But I'm also torn because I needed a place to land and I've landed, but it's not a place that I can stay, you know. And that's painful to think about. you know, that what I thought I was building a nest for, somebody else was thinking, oh no, it's temporary because something in their life shifted. And so they're making other decisions that is costing me, the time that I want to nest. And so, and nest meaning just have a place to just settle in. But then some new developments are happening, which give me opportunity to think about, where do I want to be next year and the year after, and how do I do that? And it's hard to sort of, and I get this. I get this. It's hard to dream from a place of no assets. I have assets in the sense that I have the ability to have a job and all that other kind of stuff, but I don't have any money. Like I don't have any money, like lots of money that I could use to leverage things, you know. And so, that's a consideration. But somehow or other, it doesn't stop me from dreaming and thinking about what I'd like to do and where I want to live and how I want to live. Do you know what I mean? Um, and so I'm not a hostage and I'm not at the mercy of anybody. That's the other part of this. I'm not at it's annoying and it's an inconvenience to feel put out, to be put upon. But at the same time, um, there's some silver linings, I think, here. And that's the thing, of this level of maturity that I've reached and awareness that I can I nothing is ever so dire that I don't see silver lining, you know. And I think I'm just because I'm hella optimistic and have been forever and a day, you know. So so those are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about, you know. And some of it is a little unsettling to say the least. But then the other things that are quite exciting. To dream is to be excited, to think about the possibilities is exciting, you know. And so I'm in that space, you know, that what I thought could have been is not going to be. Um, and now I get to reimagine, what the future looks like, which is pretty good. The ability to dream. That's what I'm talking about. The real ability to dream, even though things look dire, they're not so dire that you can't see the silver lining. And I know, and for some people, they'll shoo me and be like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And it's hard and it is. It's all of that. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. It's all very true. I see it. I get it. I understand it. It's all true. All very, very true. You know. So, so yeah. So decisions have to be made, even when you don't want to make them. And circumstance and universe force you to make things, push you, push you into. Sometimes you have to be pushed to your dream. I've learned that too. Like, oh no, I can't. No, 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 no. The dream is over here. You have to get to it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And then you get pushed, and then you land in front of it, and you're like, oh, really? Oh, this is where I wanted to be. Yeah, if you would have just stopped being resistant, you could have gotten here sooner. But then you know what old people say, all in good time, all in due time, all in good time. All in good time. So that's the message today. So there's a lot it's a lot going on. A lot going on. A lot going on. But anyway, all is well. As my friend B. Doja Taylor used to say all the time, all is well. All is well. I can still hear her, particularly when I would just go to the bookstore and sit there sad, like, oh, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. And she was like, all is well. All is well. All is well. So, Harry, are we playing Christmas music at some point? No? Harry's like, Baz, I don't want to hear nothing about Christmas music in November. Harry gonna wait till the bitter end and give me Christmas music. That's all right, Harry. I could wait. If you want to wait, I'll wait. Want to get closer to Christmas? All right. But I didn't heard Mariah Carey. I'm waiting. Is it official yet? I think the day after Thanksgiving. I mean, the stores are already stocked with Christmas stuff, and Christmas music is already blaring. But I think here in the Northeast, the weather hasn't cooperated, so we're not really. Although people have I have driven down in my neighborhood, and Christmas lights are up. So people are doing the damn thing. So so I'm gonna take a break. Enru will be on at 10:15. So if you're in the mood to get your ancestral love on, and just get right in your heart and your spirit about some things, Enru will get you right. Give you something to put on your spirit. Harry's like, I ain't giving you no Christmas music yet.
I was as wrong as I could.
Is that Gio Vanelli?
Let you get away from me. I'll regret that move for as long as I'm living. But now that I've come to see the light, all I wanna do is make things right. So just say the word and tell me that I'm forgiven.